And I think that's leading into FOT 12, 13, 14, which is a review, which is basically what we're doing. So I think we can say safely we're up to FOT 14 now, because this whole thing is a review. So to go and do a review again, we would just repeat ourselves. So FOT from 8, which is identifying perfect levels, and invalidation, succession and failure, part 1 and 2, future trading review, part 1, 2, and 3. So from 8 to 14, we'll check off it's done. You mentioned no topside trend exists in the FOT channel. Yep. If I don't teach it, it doesn't exist. If I don't specifically have lessons on it, don't assume it's there. So that's a very easy one to tackle, TL. You mentioned no topside trends exist in the FOT channel. Can you go into that deeper? Absolutely. I haven't taught them, they don't exist. I think a lot of the time what happens is you have, let me see if I can find a topside trend. This looks like it's a topside trend, right? So I would say, oh, look at this. This looks like it's and we're going to attach it to the distribution candle here. So I think we will go through a time frame and we'll do this. Okay, weekly. Let's pin it to the actual base of the weekly. Maybe we should be right here. Okay, that makes sense if we walk through it like this, right here to this to this, and we go into our time frames, and we now have what looks like the topside trend. Okay, that's quite simple. It's supposed to be here, right? It's supposed to be here. That's a great topside trend right here. That's compressing the move. I think what happens a lot of the time, people line things up like this, and they simply didn't see, hey, there's a hold level here. Guess what? It's lining up with my trend. I think topside trends will line up a lot because they have the same angles, right? Like there's a geometry there that's shared. Geometry, is that the right word? Yeah. Sorry, I thought I was thinking geography for a second there when I said geometry. I was like, wait, and we're talking about angles here, not countries. I think this is a common occurrence. I think people will do like this and align it up and say, oh, look at that topside trend compression. Really, that had nothing to do with the chart. And maybe we won't use S&P. Maybe we'll use, or like, I don't know, maybe there's another point in S&P where it does this. Is there a point that hard closes here? Yeah, okay, right there. So it's like, oh, look at this trend here. Perfect rejection. When really the topside trend didn't reject the move, it lost its trend here. Like this is very easily explainable. It lost its trend here. This was the hard close right here. So did the topside trend reject it, or did it lose its uptrend? Because then I would just simply go here and say, okay, oh, we're in the replay tool. Well, why can't I select my little guy here? Hello? Okay, replayer tool is not being fun. Is it on the weekly chart maybe? Or the replayer tool? Okay, well, I'm not allowed to use the replayer. That's fine. We don't need to do the replayer to do it. So if I was to just go in here and say, like, there's maybe I need to go to the daily actually. Here's the hold level, right? Here's the hold level right here, which is going to have a smaller time frame hold right here. There's your hold level. There's your trend. Here's your next hold level. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Here's the break of the move, which is trying to hold off of this, which laddered to here, right? It already lost its trend. I think too often people do this. They try to make sense out of something that's just quite simply not there. They'll see topside trend and they'll say, oh, once it hits that, it's going to reject. Well, it would just keep moving. There's like 100 topside trends here. You can justify them any way you want. I'm sure I could find another one that's relatively close. Maybe like U to U, and oh, it must be topside here, so that means we're going to push up to this next. Like there's always going to be some kind of topside trend. Like there's always going to be this. Like they're just going to continuously fray because you have all these points down here that you'll end up justifying some version of this to be true in the moment of it. Like this is not really what's happening. That's what this is. We have a trend here that was lost, and that's quite straightforward. Nike's another one. Followed S&P. Did it not just lose its weekly trend? Like it's the same thing. I mean, they are all going to be the same thing because it's S&P controls these, but actually I haven't looked at this for a long time. I looked at this for a company that asked me to back a while ago, who trades large stocks. Oops. An institution that asked me. So like, did we not just have a hold level that had a cycle that lost its trend? Like, this is very straightforward to me. We have a hold level here. If you can't use your hold level to break this right here, the move is done. Like, you need to break this, right? Like whatever this like little local piece is. If you can't break that, the move is done. So yeah, I mean, yeah, here's your hold level right here. Did it hit it? Yep, right to the T. Lost its trend and it hit its hold level that brought its trend there. Very straightforward. So I mean, and now we're on Nike. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, topside trend. If I haven't taught it, don't use it. If you want to make sense out of it and use it, it's your money. Do it if you want. But I mean, I know my stuff works pretty well. So, yeah, if you want to use topside trends, I won't stop you. But I will advise against it for sure. So yeah, I mean, like, look, $60 here. Look at that knife catch, and what did it? What did it go? 60.53. So if you set along at 60.53, you were 50 cents off. Maybe you would have front ran it a bit 60.60. I don't know, 60.61. 61 cents off on a, like, this is enough to pay off a house right here. Like this 50% move is enough to pay off a house. And then wouldn't it have just gone to its inverse level right here? Or right, like, isn't this just the inverse hold? I guess this one is actually, that's not even a valley. Isn't this just the same like weekly inverse hold level? Like, if we just take away from the trends, didn't it just like literally bounce from one to the next one? I mean, it's there, right? So yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about topside trends. If I like, hey, if I haven't taught it, probably shouldn't use it. But again, I don't want to say don't, like, do whatever you want, right? I'm just here to share what I know, which I think is a pretty good thing. Yeah, exactly. You're just abstracting some level of information that is probably inaccurate instead of honoring the actual truth to it. And realize that Future of Trading is an amazing course, but there's a lot it doesn't have, right? It's why butterfly effect is there. So just, I know I've said butterfly effect a few times today, but there's a lot of stuff still going on that Future of Trading doesn't tackle, right? So, with respect to that, you won't have every single little minute piece that will let you make, enough to pay off your house and whatever, or whatever your dream, I don't know, pay your rent or whatever it is to you, right? FOT won't give you every single piece, but what it will do is it'll turn you into a career trader and give you a profession of this, because you guys can catch this with FOT. Like, this stuff is just trend cycles and hold levels right now. So you guys can catch this with FOT. So, um, I mean, there's a simple beauty to this chart that is just, um, very much right there. There's this very simple beauty to a lot of these charts, right? So yeah, you just be cognitively aware of that. So we have trends next, which we did talk somewhat about trends, but we'll continue down trends. Local versus global versus legacy. I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward. Let's go to XBT for this. It's a little bit more of a history. Like, I really do think that local, global, legacy, right? Like, you've got your trend right here, legacy trend, right? You've got that legacy trend there. Prior to this being hit, it would have been simply like this, which we can shortcut to here. From here, it just takes one of the trends out. That's perfectly fine. Otherwise, we would just have another trend right here, which you can have. That's fine, but it's just kind of like, what's the point to have them all? You don't need both of them there. I mean, it would help for sure, but I just think right now we don't need both of them. So yeah, just anyways to walk through that move. We can take this one out. Actually, we can take this one out because this is the one that's useless now, actually. And let's go here, and that's fine. The only thing to really take away from here is you would have had this right there, right? Like you would have had your trend being like that to this. So that's your global, legacy, and local. And right now, I guess this is kind of nice because right now we just hit our legacy trend again. So I guess right now is kind of like a perfect time to actually discuss this, because we're going to be creating a new global trend right now. So this is simply going to go from here to something like this on a smaller time frame to start. Yeah, from here to here. So on a smaller time frame, this is simply going like this, right? Like you simply have the is at the top, yeah, right there. So you simply have the new global trend starting, which this should compress the move down for a while. So we talk about local, global, legacy, and I think that's already known and quite straightforward. Let's go to a weekly chart and draw the bottom side here. What are we on? Bitcoin? Yeah, okay. XBT? Yeah. So you'd have this to this right here. Oops. Let's get the right candles here. The right hard closes like that. So, right now you do have two legacy trends, which means right now you're drawing this global against this one right here. Like it would be here, but that's fine. We're just going to attach it to this for simplicity here. So right now we simply do have two global trends that are both going to array out over time here. Like these are both going to continue to array in their directions until the legacy trend is broken somewhere down in here. I'm assuming we're going to come down to this apex right here and decide something here around the $6,000 range. Like this looks logical. We may ladder up or down into a shorter range here, but that's fine. Anyways, right now we have our legacy trend, and our global trend is so close on both sides here that it's really nice opportunity to create a global trend, which is going to give you like a lot of injection points to buy, right? So, I mean, global, local, legacy trend typically won't be this small in the move, but then again, Bitcoin is at the top of its range right now. So, quite simply, there is no legacy higher than this, right? Like, not that I think, anyways. I don't think there's anything. No, there's not. Like potentially you have something like this, but yeah, I don't really see that.
Hey everyone, how's it going? As you know, I'm now giving out some of this content for free that I was otherwise charging for the past little while. Yeah, drop a donation, subscribe to the channel, join Patreon. You'll get access to Discord. Great way. Lots of top level traders in there, people who are doing this for a career every single day. So go to Patreon, join a tier, get access to Discord. Go on Reddit, talk about future of trading, talk about the science of trading, talk about cotton candy, socials, everything you can. Let's help this thing grow. It's the way you guys can thank me for giving out this content for free that I was otherwise charging money for. So I'll leave a Bitcoin address on the screen. I'll leave the Patreon address on the screen. Just do something to help out. Okay, thanks guys. Take care.